Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing, review, and first time test of the Zulay Kitchen Milk Frothers, which are these milk frothers right here. I recently did a video discussing their higher end model, which is their executive series, which is in this box. You can check out that video, but otherwise this video is really going to provide you a side-by-side comparison of the different Zulay Kitchen Milk Frothers so you can see what options are available on Amazon and which you think is best for your own purpose. And so we'll do in this video is we'll just show each of the milk frothers, we'll show what comes in the packaging, then we'll walk through its functionality as far as frothing milk. As always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing this, I'll leave links in the description below. Okay, so here are all the options as far as the Zulay Kitchen Milk Frothers. On the right here is going to be their basic model that comes just with the milk frother and without a stand. Currently you can get this on Amazon for $8.99. This will be the best option for those of you that do not want to stand and don't want to spend the extra money for it. The middle option is their middle line product, which is going to be about $14 or $10 to $14. This is going to be identical to this model. It's just going to incorporate the stand as well, and so you can check that out. And then lastly, on the left hand side is going to be their executive series, which is their higher end model. This is going to have a stand as well. Its overall design is very similar, but the packaging and the way they deliver the product is much more elegant and sophisticated. But this one's going to be about $15 as well. So looking on Amazon, it's pretty interesting because these two are about the price the same at this time. Meanwhile, this one is much cheaper. So what we'll do now is we'll just open each of these up and show you what they look like side by side. I'm not going to go over the packaging because we're really focused on the actual product for this. So this one is going to be their baseline model with the baseline model without the stand. And so you see here it's a single whisk design, has a typical kind of whisk at the bottom, connects to this like plastic piece here, and then the finish here is going to be this black silicone-y kind of matte finish, and then there's a silver button at the top as far as turning it on and off. Interestingly, surprisingly actually, this came with batteries, I believe, which is surprising. Let me check. So yeah, it has batteries. I'm not sure how that happened. So maybe this was a return and somebody left the batteries in it. But either way, it gives you a first time real test. So as far as its functionality, you just turn it on, hold it down, and it turns on. When you let go, it turns off. It's a little bit delayed. There is no dedicated on switch where it stays on, so you do have to press and hold and let go, but that's what that one looks like. So that's the single, the one without the actual stand. Currently you can get this on Amazon for $8.99. Okay, so the next one is this middle line model, which should be very similar or virtually identical, but this is going to be so as far as the packaging and everything, they have an information packet about Zulay Kitchen, discusses everything, kind of promotes the product. And then here it comes in this bubble wrap format. Has this stand here that has this two-prong design here to put the actual milk frother into it. And then we'll pull out the actual milk frother. And so as far as the stand and functionality, all you do is you slide it on directly in here and it inserts on and sticks into place. It's pretty actually, it's a little bit wobbly, so if you have it on your counter, you'll have to set it aside somewhere where it doesn't get knocked over just because it's a little bit tall, but it does slide directly in, sits there without any issues. And then as far as the look of it, it's virtually identical if you look side by side. There's some subtleties, so like the Zulay Kitchen emblem here is a little bit more silver here versus this is like a bluish kind of gray, not as silvery on this one, but the overall feel is the same as far as the touch. The button at the top is a little bit different, where there's a power button on the $8.99 one versus this one does not have like an actual power emblem on the top. And then actually I'm curious about this because this one is more of like a a press down, like a kind of like it's a kind of cheaper press where it kind of presses down, versus this surprisingly actually has like a clickier sensation, like where it's a little bit more sturdier of a button. So what I'll do now is I'll just swap these batteries out, and that also gives you a sense of how to put the batteries into these. So give me one sec while I grab another set of batteries. Okay, so for installing the batteries, it's pretty straightforward. You'll take the plus end for this one, and you'll actually point it to the top of the milk frother to start. Actually, it didn't go all the way in. Top like that, and then the second one you're going to point downwards towards the bottom of the milk frother, and that's all you have to do. And then you just slide the casing back on, and it should turn on immediately. And so that's what that one looks like, our functionality for that. So yeah, the button is a little bit sturdier as far as pressing it down. Overall, the rest of the design seems very comparable. Let me see. Feels similar as far as weight in the hand, nothing crazy as far as the overall difference. We'll just test out. So I do notice that this one, the $8.99 one, is a little bit of a kind of a cheaper, wobblier feel. Like you'll see that the whisk actually wobbles a little bit more when using it, versus this one, it's sturdier and it sounds like crisper as far as the motor. So if you listen, versus this one, it's like a subtle difference. Like the whisk on this is a little bit cheaper. The button's actually a little bit cheaper too. So there is a subtle difference, which is surprising because I didn't expect that between these two. And then lastly, what we'll do is we'll kind of look at the executive series. Hopefully I have enough space on the camera. But this one has a really elegant box. It's really nice from a gift standpoint. And this one, I reviewed this in a separate video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. But it's got a nicer stand. So it's got this black stand that the actual frother inserts directly into here, slides in. It's a little bit nicer from that standpoint, rather than this stainless steel model, which has this kind of like cheaper kind of look to it. The fact that this is all black kind of is more sleeker. It's a little bit nicer if you want to put it on your countertop. So that's the actual stand comparison. And then we'll look at the two milk frothers. So the difference here is this is their executive series, so it's all black. So rather than silver at the bottom here, they have a black piece. And it's kind of more streamlined from that standpoint. And then this is their black model where it has black on the top, but they've got a wide variety of color options there as well. This one does have an emblem for the power, and then let's just feel this as far as difference. So this is a little bit different. So noting it, you do notice that this one's a little bit crisper as far as build and responsiveness. And the motor seems slightly stronger, just like on a objective, like a subjective standpoint. So side by side, the look is virtually identical. Maybe it's just me being biased by the fact that one costs more than the other, but I feel like this one is a little bit better as far as the build and construction compared to like this middle line model, which the motor sounds a little bit weaker than that one. And then this one's a little bit more flimsy, and you can actually see the whisk wobbling a little bit more. So I guess the prices do play a factor here. So what we'll do now is we'll take these into the other room and start testing them as far as actual frothing capability and functionality. Okay, so here are the three milk frothers. What I lined up is oat milk, about 4 ounces in each of these cups to standardize this and see if there's any difference between each of the milk frothers. On the right here is the $8.99 one. This is the middle line one, and that's the executive series on that side. We'll start with this one. So hopefully you'll be able to see this on camera, but we'll just get this started. So it is a little bit of wobbliness. You can kind of feel a vibration in the actual milk frother, but it is doing the job. It's definitely frothing up this milk without any issues. So that's kind of what it looks like after that amount of time. So it's a little bit thicker, definitely almost tripled in size as far as that. So that is the $8.99, which is their baseline model without the stand. Next up is their middle line model, which comes with a stand, but it's just their baseline model. So what we'll do is we'll try this out. So it definitely has more power, as you can see. This is actually like really churning this up, like way more than the last one. Like it definitely has much more power. So there is the clear, obvious difference in the like this power functionality as far as that. It seems like it might be a little bit smoother as far as frothing, but as you can see, here's the side-by-side comparison. Basically did the exact same thing, but a little bit quicker. Definitely a little bit more power from that standpoint. So that's that one. And then lastly is their executive series, which should be the best one, but we'll kind of just see. So to be honest, I don't really notice that much of a difference compared to this in the middle line one. I think it's very comparable. And if anything, it might be performing a little bit worse. Like it seems like it might feel, at least it feels like it might be a little bit weaker than the other one. But that's kind of what it looks like as well. And so that's really all we have for this video. So as you can tell, each of them do function as far as frothing, oat milk at least, all to about the same level. I'll say that the whisk on this one's a little bit more wobblier, does seem a little bit weaker from immediate side-by-side comparison. However, between the executive series and the middle line model, or the original model, I don't notice a drastic difference. The nice part about the executive series is the coloring is a little bit more customizable. You can get the button changed with colors, the stand's a little bit more nice, and the packaging nicer. So as far as if you're looking at these side by side, I'd say that if this is a gift for somebody, I'd lean more towards the executive series just because it's overall nicer. But beyond that, the function doesn't seem that different. So that's really all I have for this video. Hopefully it's helpful for those of you that are looking at the Zulay Kitchen Milk Frothers. I definitely kind of shy away from this cheaper model. It seems a little bit cheaper as far as functionality, and it's a little bit wobblier. So for double the price, you get a little bit better quality, and I anticipate that these will last maybe a little bit longer, but you'll never know. So if you have questions, comments, post them below. But thanks for watching, and have a great day.